Hey guys, so I just wanted to do a very quick video on the HSG test and what I forgot to include in my last video that I meant to mention, and that was just a brief overview of everything. And the reason why is because I was so scared to get that test done. I have a friend of mine who is in a similar situation as myself, and her husband are actually going through IUI right now. But she actually had the HSG test done, and also I viewed other YouTube videos where I heard people say how painful and how much discomfort that test caused. So I just wanted to do an update on my experience with the test. And from my experience, it was a piece of cake. I mean, I was terrified to get that test done. I was very terrified. I was scared. I even considered switching my fertility doctor to another doctor who didn't require that test. That's how scared I was to get it, because I just thought it was going to be painful. And I work in nursing, so when they said they were going to put a catheter in my uterus, I automatically thought of a Foley catheter. I don't know if you guys have ever seen a Foley catheter, but they are about this thick. They range from about that thick. So I thought that that's what they would put in, and I just automatically was like, oh my gosh, I can't handle that. So the fact that I was gonna switch my fertility doctor because of that test was just crazy. That's how scared I was. And the test is really, really appropriate for your IVF or IUI, because just me, for example, like the reason why we even considered IVF was because my husband is a paraplegic, and he does not how can I say this? He has sperm, but it doesn't come out. So we have to go in and get it. So that's why we're doing IVF. So I was like, oh no, I don't need that test because I'm fine, because I've had a child before and I did it the regular way. So I know I'm good. I know I can have kids. Well, so I was like, I didn't want to get that test. Good thing I did get the test, because even though I did have a child before and she's 8 now, one of my tubes was blocked. I had a proximal occlusion in my right tube, as I mentioned in my prior video. So it's good that I did get that test done, because they would not have known that if I didn't get that test. And also, I mean, even though you bypass the fallopian tubes and stuff for IVF, it's still important to see what's going on down there. So that's one thing, but I was scared. So I kept calling the doctor's office, my doctor, prior to the test, and was just asking them about, do I have to get it? Are you sure? What can I take? And at first they were like, oh, well, take a Motrin 800, 45 minutes prior. And then after a while, I think they were like, you know what? This girl's really a punk, so I think we ought to give her something stronger. So my nurse actually called in 2 Tylenol 3s with codeine for me to the pharmacy. So like when I was like 10 minutes away from the hospital, I took both of them. And I'm not a pill taker, not that kind of pill anyway. That's something that's going to inebriate me. Oh my gosh, I was buzzed, and like I was like a space cadet in there, and I just felt so like it just it felt good. I must say, I'm not going to say I felt crazy. No, it felt good. I was nice and relaxed, but I did not feel a thing. I was so mad at myself afterwards, because I'm like, I was so scared to get this test done, to the point where I was going to switch my doctor, and it didn't hurt. The catheter was, you remember how big I told you I thought it was? Well, it was, let me see, it was like that big. It was smaller than the little stirs that you stir your coffee with. It was smaller than that. It was like, the PA who performed the test for me, she let me see it after she was done. I was so upset with myself that I really acted like a big baby and such a wuss for that little thing, and I didn't feel anything, and I didn't feel nothing. So if you are about to get this test done, or you're considering it, please get the test done, because it's very important. Here, I thought my fallopian tubes and everything down there was in tip-top shape, and come to find out, it wasn't. So please get it done. And if you are as scared as I am, or just a punk like me, then I suggest you ask your doctor for those Tylenol 3s, because I honestly believe if I didn't have the Tylenol 3s, I would have felt some discomfort, some cramping, and it would have been more uncomfortable. But those Tylenol 3s did wonders. They were doing it, and I was just laying there, and I was like talking, and I was in la la land. And even I think it like about 2 hours after the fact, it completely wore off. I was fine, back to normal. But Tylenol 3s is where it's at for that test, because I don't know what it's really going to feel like. I can't tell you. But what I can say is I've heard more people complain of cramping and discomfort than not. So to be on the safe side, get the Tylenol 3. If you can't take Tylenol 3 by any means, get the closest thing to it. But that's all. So I just wanted to update you guys on that, and I will be seeing you soon for my next update. Bye.